Hi, it's Trixie. Let's get in drag. Why not? Hello, it's Trixie Mattel. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I am DJing at Evita Summer Pool Party. I have a bunch of brand new stuff here. Now, it's risky. It's risky to try new products when you have to go somewhere in the direct sunlight where homosexuals are gonna judge you. But you know what? I'm a risk taker. So I'm gonna glue my brows down so we can move it right along and we'll be right back. So we got a lot of stuff here and we're just gonna speed through it because listen, as usual, I'm running late. I got the Paula's Choice Advanced Replenishing Toner. Just trying to use more skincare before drag so that hopefully my natural lipid barrier is more fierce and I don't get so dried out. Water, glycerin, dimethicone, okay, yeah. Licorice root extract, which usually is like a calming agent to the skin, which is why it says soothes. That's usually what it means. Once you look at the back of a few bottles, you realize that like all brands are using, honestly, a few dozen of the same things. That feels pretty good actually. I love Paula's Choice. I think these are like some of the nicest skincare items. Really, really nice. Just gonna do one more layer of glue. I'm gonna use my Juno Birch mirror. I don't think by the time this video comes out, we'll have any more of these, but we have some really cool mirrors. I have mostly new products today, but for covering my brows, I'm just gonna do my normal gig. This is some of my powders from Tour. This is a bunch of Makeup Forever and Too Faced Born This Way powder. Press, 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 press. Now, I'm excited to do this event. I love doing Evita. It's really fun. Ollie and Andres and the whole team is really cool and nice, and it's a fun party to go to. It is outdoors in the sun, which I knew about, so I can't complain about it because I knew about it and I consented to it. So like, let's start with some foundation. I got my little About Face palette. I really, really love this because I'm sick of putting makeup on my hands. And then I go on stage, I'm in the middle of a set and I look at my hand and I'm like, there's literally makeup swatched all over my hand. So I'm gonna use some Studio Fix Fluid. I didn't have a new foundation I wanted to try, but I do have a new sponge. This is the Real Techniques Blend and Set for Flawless Coverage Miracle Complexion Sponge. It's one of those sponges that's like fuzzy. It's not just spongy, it like has peach fuzz. Do you know what I mean? Let's try it. It's a little yellow for me, but I go through phases where I want like a yellow foundation. This is probably like an NC30. Yeah, NC20. And I have a lot of fake tanner on right now. Sadly, this is me with layers of fake tan. Isn't that horrible? Sometimes when foundations advertise themselves as like mattifying and oil controlling, you kind of feel like you're wearing Scotch tape on your face. Does anybody feel that way? I know that for people who are oily, you like putting a foundation on and feeling it like dry, like you feel like secure, but I don't like that. I don't like feeling my face feeling like tight. So I don't know how people do the tape thing. People who do the face tape, I'm like, that must be so weird to walk around with just like snatched face. Let's get it not twisted here. I don't look young, but I wear enough makeup that I don't think I will benefit from face tape. You can't see my real face anyway, so I'm not crazy about the way these little hairs make the skin look. I'm not crazy about it. Maybe my nose is just dry and I'm just blaming the foundation. I know you're supposed to use the front of the sponge, but to me, the side of the sponge is bigger, so I'm always just using that because my head's the size of a basketball. I look skinny in that camera. Oh. Jeez, I was so skinny, I scared myself. No, I don't care about being skinny. That's a lie, I do. That's my own problems. But I do care about being fast and fit, and I love running. And so lately I've been trying to trim down a little bit because I love running, but I've been really undisciplined with my diet. And so the more I gain weight, the slower I can run. And then I'm like, you know, not thrilled about that. Yeah, let's pick today of all days to do a bad job covering my eyebrows. That looks horrible. You see how horrible that looks? Oh well. We're already here. Let's start the eyes, shall we? I have the Prados Beauty Black Pen Liner here. I believe it's just called Black Liner. I'm trying to do a slightly less liner today because, I don't know, believe it or not, like, I like to wear bigger makeup when I'm on tour, but then when I'm gonna be in person or DJing or like, I don't know, I like to go a little smaller. I don't know. Delusion. By the way, I'm here by myself today. I've been filming with Brandon and Nick just to like help me. It's just me. It's just the girls today. Okay, this is Rock Candy from Colourpop. This came a while ago and I just didn't get a chance to use it, but I know it has some cool browns and grays. My look today is like a black and white, beachy, 60s, like mod graphic thing. And so I think doing like a black and white, kind of 2019 Trixie, like black and white and gray, 60s eye. I think that's the way to go. I got my Trixie brushes here mixed with a couple other brushes. If you don't know, we have this amazing brush set that is a little holder that looks like our lipstick. It's adorable. It's adorable. It's absolutely lovely. Did I go to Australia? Yes. Did I improve on my accent? Absolutely not. So there's this color called So Tough that's like a gray. Doing like a gray eye will make the skin seem really warm, and I want to look super tan and super mod and like really light lips, really bronze skin, and then like a gray and white eye. I've kind of been doing the 60s thing for a couple years now, and I don't think I'll ever go back. I just think it really works for me. You could be commenting now, bitch, it doesn't work for you. So you guys remember I used to do more like 90s Barbie. It was a lot more like roller skates and pink bows and like tulle. And then when I started doing like mod Barbie, I think I just really hit my stride. I could be delusional. It's a great thing about doing YouTube. You can just say things like, you know what I mean? And no one's there to say, no bitch, you're wrong, you're stupid. Who is she? And it is daytime, so I'm using this I Dig You color, which is a little lighter, because I don't want to have black eyes. Like I don't want pictures from today to just be me in the sunlight with black eyes. See this lighter gray, I just think it's gonna read more gray, charcoal-y, editorial, 60s mod, charcoal, editorial, cut crease, graphic, twiggy, Carnaby Street, London boots. I'm really on one today. Love this brush. This P08 brush, which is like a little fluffy brush, I'm just gonna take a little bit of I Dig You, and I'm just gonna finish the edges. I find just taking a tiny bit of the shadow you were using and just circling it really, 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 really cleans up the area. Look at that. Love it. But I saw some pictures of myself doing this, like when I first started doing this Trixie makeup, this like mod 60s makeup. I think I was doing it better then. And I think I evolved in the wrong direction. And so I'm trying to move backwards a little bit with the way I apply this. And I think what I used to do better was the eye was more horizontal. Everything lately has been snatched up, and I like that the eye used to be more out and flat. It just read more eyelinery and less like draggy. I'm gonna take a little bit of hot spot on a black brush, and that's what I'm gonna put right in the middle. Do you see that? I just want a little deeper just in the middle. When you have this much eyeshadow on, the layering and like anything you can do to add depth so you're not just having one color, it really adds a lot. I hope this mattifies a little more once I've powdered because my eyebrow covering today was not great. All right, little Trixie tip. I take my wet foundation sponge and I kind of re-wet the area before I put shadow on because I want the shadow to stick to the foundation. All right, I'm going back in with So Tough and I'm gonna start doing a horizontal snatch. Snatchisha. I tried to pull a lot of sunshiny songs today. I have like California Dreamin', I have Let the Sun Shine In. When it's like a pool daytime party, it's jail to play like club music. It's also jail to play songs on the radio, and I think it's really jail to play just like daytime disco and like basically do elevator music. So I'm trying to do something that's gonna be sunshiny and beachy, but still have like some nast to it. You know what I mean? Some nasty. I think that looks good. I'm gonna go in with the black from this palette, this hot spot, and I'm just gonna concentrate some right at the lash line, or what will be the lash line. See that? Just again, more depth. That's gonna read really good, I think. All right, I'm gonna take a break there because I think that's probably pretty close. Let's do a brow. This Hello Hollywood palette has a little like taupe. This is gonna be perfect for my eyebrow. So I'm gonna do my little brow. Try not to go too high. It looks pretty good. It's a little more purple than I thought it would be. I thought this was gonna be more ash blonde. So I'm gonna go into this Rock Candy palette and I'm gonna grab this color Crushed, which is a little bit yellow, and just kind of mix it. It's just a little too purple, and I want it more straw. That's a lot better. A lot better. And then for concealer, I went to the drugstore and I got a bunch of these CoverGirl Outlast Extreme Wear concealers. Outlast sort of products I really like. I love that Outlast foundation. We used it on this channel in the CoverGirl video. And so I wanna try these concealers. It's a little squeeze tube, looks more like a pro product. Let's just do some shaping under the eye. I think that looks pretty good. You know, my favorite product to use for that is the Kimchi The Most Concealer, but I think this looks pretty good. Nice off cream color. I have to say the shade range for this was really impressive too. I have about 5 of these. This one's in Gold and Ivory. It's a little darker and I'm gonna use it above my brows. I think that looks good. That's really full coverage, wow. Is CoverGirl doing drag now? Is CoverGirl drag? This is gonna clean up really nice with the rest of the face done. So I'm gonna do to this side what I did to this side and we'll be right back. All right, so the other side's done. I have to say the quality of these Colourpop shadows, I mean, Colourpop's always great. These grays and these blacks are really, really nice. Look how pretty this is for a neutral palette. We'll talk about it later, but we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about this when your mother gets home. So let's do some shaping of the face. I have some, I want to use these CoverGirl Outlast, but I'm scared. I'm afraid, I'm just afraid. I live in fear. Well, let's try it. I have more of these here. So I'm just kind of squirting them out on this little palette, and I guess I'm just gonna do the face with this. Let's see, let's start with the forehead and see what happens. Let's start shaping her up. When you're using liquids, you just have to approach contouring kind of differently. You know, you can't just like pound everything on. You need to place it. It just forces you to think more about where you're putting your contour a little bit. I want to look really tan today, so I'm gonna kind of over contour a little bit because I'm gonna put foundation on my body and stuff. Yeah, and then I have this deeper shade. God, I feel like a real makeup artist. Ooh. And I'm gonna go just a little deeper, right around the hairline. I mean, this might not even show, but again, contouring, it always looks better when you use a couple shades. Don't you think that looks better? Like just more depth, you know what I mean? And I don't know, when I'm wearing wigs, which I do a lot, I like the hairline to be ultra dark. Like I like to have like a vanishing point. Like if this is where the wig is gonna lay, I want it to be just a little deeper than the rest of the face. Because I think it helps hide lace. It's a little dark, but I think once we powder, it's gonna be just fine. I'm gonna squirt, by the way, I'm using Tawny and Soft Sable, deep colors here. I do like using liquids though, because like, think about it. If I want to like this weekend I have Montreal, like the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival, I'm like, I could just take a few of these instead of a foundation palette. I hate to say it, as I get older in drag, I'm always thinking of efficiency and like how little makeup can I bring? My dream is to have like my entire kit like this big. Like so, puff, puff, puff. Looks pretty good, right? More depth. So I'm gonna take Sable, which is this darker color. I'm gonna add that for depth. See, for like hot days like this in drag, like seriously, drag queens out there, I think drag queens do watch this channel sometimes. Honestly, drag queens feel like outdoor brunch or something like that, or like a parade. I'm telling you, if you wear like liquids like this that dry, like you're not gonna deal with sweating and then suddenly your face turns back into a wet cream cake. Like, you know, liquids dry down. Cause now I can take a little brush and just clean under. Yeah, this is gonna be great. I don't know why I doubt myself. It always works out. I'll say this though, this concealer appears to accentuate texture a little bit for me. Just right now, looking at this, it looks a little dry. I'm gonna take this lighter shade, which I believe is the Fair Ivory. I'm gonna take some Fair Ivory. Terrible accents, not good. I'm gonna start highlighting. So far this concealer's good. If we're talking drugstore liquid concealers that are very full coverage, the coverage is pretty impressive. However, I think like the e.l.f. 16-hour camouflage concealer is a little better than this. But as we saw in this video when I got ready in Milwaukee, if you don't work quickly, it really does not lay down correctly. The 16-hour works if you don't like try to layer it too much, then it gets gross. Love, gorge, stun, Stunisha Turlington. All right. Then I'm just gonna do my jawline. I'm gonna go back in with Tawny. I'm gonna make sure you do behind the ear, because I always feel in pictures when I turn my head, if I don't see makeup here, I'm like mad. I'm gonna take a little bit of this ivory and do the nose. Yeah! I'm gonna mix a little bit of the ivory with the golden ivory because I don't want this to be too light. All right, then I'm just gonna take a little bit of this Tawny and do the side of the nose. That looks pretty good. I'm at peace with it. This concealer is not my favorite so far. It's just drying a little bit. I don't know if you guys can even see it. It's drying just a little bit textured. To me. I'm gonna do the other side and we'll be right back. So I think it looks pretty good. I mean, when you paint your makeup with cream, you do end up looking more creamy, but there's something about painting with liquid that really turns your face into like an oil painting. Like you look like a painting, and I sometimes like how that looks. Today I like how that looks. I don't know. So let's proceed. We have a new setting powder here, which is a little dicey. We've had setting powder mishaps on this channel. None of that today, please. Thank you. We have the Sigma Soft Focus Vanilla Bean Setting Powder. I hope soft focus doesn't mean shiny. I mean, sometimes soft focus just means big pores. I don't know why, but this actually looks really matte. So let's get into this. I'm gonna do something very professional, which is wipe off this with this. And I'm gonna put my products on my, look at me, professionalism. And I'm gonna start setting the higher planes of the face. I don't know why I make this face while I do this, but when I set my makeup, I like to sort of put the most setting powder on the lighter parts. It's kind of baking, but not really. My face is so crooked today, you guys. The problem is I have a very asymmetrical face, right? So I've had to learn to put makeup on in a way that I don't follow the real face because that's how I get led astray. I'm white trash. I think on this channel, my mom admitted to smoking weed while she was pregnant with me. So thanks, Mom. It does look nice and smooth. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Sigma's really been blowing me away. Like I'm on their PR list and everything they send, I'm like, oh. I mean, I've always loved their brushes, but they really have been coming hard. Speaking of brushes, I'm gonna take a Trixie powder brush and I'm just gonna do some reshaping here. I have my powder palette from Tour. I'm just gonna take some of this Makeup Forever matte velvet powder foundation and just do like the parts of my face that I just powdered for a little more coverage. I mean, I want a lot of coverage, especially since we're gonna be outside. I mean, I want to look dusted out of my mind. I want people to be like, wow, that person has a lot of makeup on. I'm fine with that. And then I like to set my contours with contours. So I'm gonna take a little bit of these powders and I just kind of mix it. It's not an exact science. I don't pretend to be good at anything I do anymore. I feel like I started this channel hoping that I could be sort of like some kind of authority. And I think it's very clear to all of us that I just make things up as I go. I think it's become increasingly clear that I don't know what I'm doing. This looks really good, actually. Like this concealer powdered down okay. It's not my favorite, but I think it actually looks pretty good. It's a little cool. My face looks a little cool to me. So I have a Sigma bronzer in medium and I'm gonna start just warming. These are nice. Sigma sent me these and I was just like, wow, this packaging is stunning. I also have it in a deeper color. I have it in dark. I'm gonna just do the cheeks, do the hairline, the corners. And then I have this matte bronzer in deep. And this one I'm just gonna put in the pockets, right there. Do you see that streak? I would have just left that there too if I wasn't looking at the camera. Sometimes I learn more from the monitor than I do from the mirror, weirdly. You know what I mean? My face is painted on so crooked today. Look at this, you guys. Do you see that this nose goes? Do you see that? What else is new? Now, when it comes to new products today, I am using a brand new KVD liner, but it's not a new product for me. This is like one of my favorite white eyeliners to use. Honestly, you guys don't need to see me do this. I'm gonna do my white liner here and I'll be right back. All right, we got some white liner on here. I used the KVD one. It's so good, you guys. And then I went in and set the lid with this white from this Colourpop Hello Hollywood palette. So cute. This white was fabulous. I'm gonna do the lid with this kind of neutral, because I don't want the lid to be totally white. Just brushing, just to dye it a little more gold. I don't like when my eyelid is as white as under my eye. Like, I just think it helps the white pop to just dull the top a little bit. So now we're gonna do some liner, and I usually do it off camera, but I'm gonna try some new liners. So this is my Prados Beauty black liner. This is what I'm gonna use to kind of sketch. Very nice, very black. Do you guys see how black that is? Very black. And then I know that it's hot today, so I'm gonna do, this is the Danessa Myricks Color Fix, and I know that this is really water resistant, so I'm gonna do my black eyeliner with this. This is my P1 flat liner brush from Trixie Cosmetics. I like the flat edge because, watch, I can use the flat edge to just go all the way around and just get that perfect clean line. Because if I put too much black on and I paint over the line, then I have to go in and recolor it white. Once you have black paint on, it's really hard to turn it white again. You're just gonna get an off gray, no matter how much you put on. Nice, and that's really black, right? I think that's really black, wow. Okay, great. On the bottom, I'm gonna take the Color Fix, because it's a nice like gel, and I'm gonna take this P1 Trixie brush, and I'm just gonna do the edges. And since it's a flat brush, it really helps just get that nice, precise, clean shit. So that's actually drying down really nice. I'm gonna do the other side, just come back. I mean, looks good. Running behind. Okay, let's get into this lash curler. This is the Revlon and Barbie Curl Queen curler. This obviously came out a while ago. I have so much PR, you guys. Come on. This curler is not really agreeing with my eye shape. Not everybody's eye is shaped the same or the same length or anything, so sometimes with curlers, I just think if you get the wrong one for your eye shape, you're kind of screwed. The only thing you could really like guarantee that with is doing one of those half lash curlers, which do work really well. We got this Totally Tubular mascara from Half Caked. This will be nice for like hot weather. I love the box, don't love this. Kind of plain. Tubing mascaras are good for like sweating. I mean, if my mascara starts to run, I've got bigger problems. If I'm at the point that mascara is running down my face, I think the wig is on the floor. Let's put on some lashes. Let's put on some lovely lashes. Terrible, terrible act, you guys. My dialect coach in college was named Raylene. Hi Raylene, if you're watching this, I really doubt it, but she was really good at accents and I saw her in multiple plays when I was in college and her accents were just, you know, her dialects were incredible. The way she could slip in and out of things and the way she understood regional accents, and I don't aspire to that. I understand that that's a lot of training and natural talent, but you'd think after being in Australia for almost 40 days, I would leave the country with some handle on the language, not really. Okay. I'm wearing the Sugar Pill Barbie lashes on the bottom. They're kind of small, but I want just sort of small lashes on the bottom today. That looks great, right? Don't you think that looks good? I think it looks good. All right, for these Sugar Pill Barbie lashes, I'm gonna cut them in half and I'm gonna put them on in halves because the way that these like synthetic lashes bow, they need to be cut in half or they don't really stick correctly, in my opinion. And what do I know? I only wear 12 to 20 pairs of lashes every day. I had a Red Bull thinking it would make me get ready faster, and instead I think it's just stressed me out. Red Bull will either help you get your life together or send you into a tailspin. That looks beautiful, I think. I think this looks really pretty. Let's do some lips. I grabbed a couple things here. I grabbed some Rare Beauty liners. These are some nice, like, Kind Words matte lip liners. See that? Like, that's perfect for me. Pinky Brownie. That's gonna be perfect. It's perfect shape. And then this is a twistable liner. They called it self-sharpening. Girl, that's twist up. Like, it's not, to me, that's just like, that's not sharpening. That's just twisting up, you know? I'm lining the inside. By the way, these colors are, the darker one is called Wise, and this lighter one's called Worthy. And you know, for how big I draw my lips on, I need to do kind of an ombre all the time. And then I have the Kimchi Chic Beauty and Trixie collab. This one's in Pink Fantasy. It's like a liquid. I just thought something kind of nude. I think it looks good. The only thing we're missing is blush, and I still want it to look kind of 60s, so I grabbed an orange blush. This is from Kaleidos. Really cool packaging. I've not heard of this brand, and I don't even know how I got this, but this is really pretty orange color. And I was like, oh, this would be good with the look today, I think. A little bit of an orange. I think that looks nice. Oh yeah. Very cool. Love orange blush. If you guys are scared of orange blush, I really recommend the Trixie Cosmetics, the Mod About You palette. It's kind of meant to be your intro to orange blush because it's like you can build whatever shade you want. You can add shimmer, make it deeper. But I really like the way that looks. The only thing I'm gonna add still is I'm gonna take some of this white powder and I'm gonna do some white powder under the eyes. Just kind of blend it in using a powder puff. I think this is beautiful. You know what I'm gonna do? I gotta do some foundation on my body. I grabbed this from About Face. This is a Light Lock highlight fluid. This was in my best products of 2021 video, but I haven't used this shade, which is called Turkish Breakfast. It's kind of gold. No, I do this on tour a lot. I take some foundation, I take some lotion. This is Cake Batter from Sugar Rush. Take a little bit of that. And then I'll take the highlighter, because highlighter directly on the skin to me, liquid highlighter on my body usually sticks, and foundation is too much coverage. So I find when I mix something with like lotion, and highlighter, watch my shoulder, right? So this is lotion, foundation, and highlighter. Look how pretty that is. So even, but doesn't really look like coverage. But look how even that looks. Do you see that? Looks hydrated, it doesn't really look like foundation, and I hate when somebody wears like spray glitter or like too much highlighter and then their skin looks like crazy in person. Like it only works for like Lady Bunny's legs and Peppermint's boobs. Those are the only people who look good that shimmery. This looks pretty good, I think. So I'm gonna wash my hands, put on my drag, and be right back. All right, and we are in the final look. So I'm trying to do like this, I don't know, like rich woman in Palm Springs 60s geometric moment, and I think I succeeded. So I'm gonna go to the gig, I'm gonna take my kimchi lip, because I know I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna take a powder puff, because I know I'm gonna need that. It's sad when you have to think ahead of like, wow, in a few hours I'm gonna look horrible. How do I combat that? This is a little drag queen tip too. I don't know if everyone does this. If you take your powder puff, you put some powder on it, and then you go like this, rub it together. The powder goes in the puff, and then you can travel without it like spilling everywhere, but then when you puff with it, look, you get product. Just a little tip. I don't know, I just kind of like know everything, I don't know. So I brought my GoPro, and let's go to the gig. All right, I did the gig. I got on a drag at the gig, and I'm here. I only had one drink. Thank you, hold the applause. But let's go through the products I used today, because I tested them at the Gigarini, and let's talk about it. I gotta say, I really love this toner, this Paula's Choice toner. I'm gonna get into her. It just felt very nourishing, but I think this would be good for nighttime. I really love this. I was not living for this sponge. I think I'm just gonna throw it away. I don't like fuzzy textured sponges. I don't get that. I don't get why you'd want that. Almost like added texture. I'm just gonna throw it away. I didn't like that. This is a rock star product. This Rock Candy Colourpop palette, Colourpop, they really go off. This is a beautiful palette. I hope this is still available. I'm not talking about something from 2 years ago, but I just really got into these. Those grays got me together. I would use this again. I might take this on the road with me. The KVD Brow Pomade in white. I mean, this is my white liner. It's just always really fierce. It's perfect. Obviously, my Trixie brushes were amazing. Congratulations to the woman who makes these. These are amazing. The body makeup really looked beautiful and held up. It was a mix of Matchmaster in 4, the About Face highlight liquid in Turkish Breakfast, and it was the cake batter, like body butter from Sugar Rush. These together, I mean, my skin looked amazing. I mean, my body, it looked like a Barbie. It was amazing. The Totally Tubular mascara didn't run, and it came off like really easy. Easier than most mascaras. It didn't feel gummy. Like when I took my makeup off, it just came off. The Color Fix in Black held up really well. I only had to fix my crease once, and it was mostly because my lash glue came undone. And I fixed it with that Prados Beauty Liner, and it was amazing. The Kimchi Trixie Cosmetics lip color in Pink Fantasy held up perfectly. Did not have to reapply. Fierce. Same with these Rare Beauty liners, didn't have to reapply. They were really, really good. Even as I was powdering, the foundation, we'll get to the foundation, but this was not coming off. The blush, gorge. I mean, this color is beautiful, stunning. I gotta know more about this company, Kaleidos. Kaleidos, this is a really cool packaging. You guys, the Outlast concealers, at the first sign of sweating, they started to come off. It was hot, I'm in drag at a pool party. I can't say that they held up worse or better than other products. I don't think I prefer these to like a doe foot applicator. I kind of prefer being able to use a doe, but these were fine. I'm gonna say that these were like middle of the road for me. I didn't like these as much as I liked the Outlast foundation. I love the Outlast foundation, but these were just, they were just fine. The Hello Hollywood palette, I gotta do another look with these because I think a crease of this with a blue lid and like a white brow bone, I think it'll be giving very 60s Barbie. I think I'm gonna use this again in another video because I wanna give this another shot. This setting powder was nice, really, really nice. The only problem is for me as a drag queen, I'm gonna go through this jar in about 2 weeks. Really pretty though. The bronzers, I mean, I have to say, I saw some pictures of myself from people tagging me, and the gradient of like contouring and the warmth of the bronzing, these really worked for me. These bronzers, beautiful. Unfortunately, the Revlon Barbie Lash Curler, it didn't match my lash shape, you guys, like my eye shape. I just couldn't even get them to grab. I mean, now it worked. Maybe I just am dumb. Now it's working totally fine. Love the way this curler looks though. Isn't that beautiful, this black rubberized handle? I'm gonna say I really like this. Obviously, my Juno Birch hand mirror is incredible. And Studio Fix Fluid, I mean, there's a reason why I've been using this foundation off and on for a decade, basically. It's just beautiful. The silicone part of it, the part of this foundation that's silicone, it just goes right over pores and it dries like a ceramic. This foundation's really hard to look normal on daytime normal people though. It is kind of house paint. Well, that's the products of the day. I would say all in all, we didn't really have any flop Tinas. I mean, I thought everything actually worked out really, really good. Let me know if you guys like these get ready and then go. I've been trying to do more than just get ready. I've been trying to get ready and then take you guys with me with the camera to go to where I'm going. I just think it adds more, I don't know. I hate getting in drag and then getting out of drag, like you're not going anywhere. You know what I mean? Thank you guys for joining me and I will see you very, very soon. Goodbye.